Welcome back. Today I'm going to be working on the shift cables, replacing the shift cables on the Mini. So if you just want to see me work on the shift cables, well, you can jump to this time code here. But every repair on this car is an exercise in frustration and patience. So if you want that full regarding automobiles experience, I recommend you watch the full video. Let's get started. Regarding automobiles, yeah. So today we're going to work on the exhaust and the shifter cables because it all kind of flows together. The first thing is, a lot of you probably remember me cutting the header off in frustration when I was trying to get the engine out, and probably screaming at your screen, why don't you just unbolt it? Why don't you just unbolt it? So let's take a look underneath the car here and I'll show you why. Okay, here's me underneath the car looking up. Follow it back. There's the flex pipe. There's the flex pipe. Then you go past the cat right here. You notice that there's no gap here. And then we go into the resonator and no gap. And then it goes all the way back to the muffler. It's all one big piece the whole way. So yeah, here we look at another sort of weld job that looks like it was just welds upon welds upon welds, which, who knows, maybe if I tried to weld a pipe, that's what mine would look like. But yeah, that's not ideal for getting this thing fixed up. So we're about halfway between the resonator and the exhaust there. So this is what the exhaust tips look like from underneath. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to look for an actual GCW. I'll have to look it up. Muffler, both are in here, so no one ball mod or anything like that. So one here, one here. Further up, so the Y pipe is there. This is a bit strange. I'm not sure if we can get good light on this or not. But there's like a pinch here. I can't tell if it's been hit or if it's supposed to be there, but that sure looks like it's been dented, because it doesn't have to go over anything. Yeah, so one big exhaust from tip to tail. The surprises keep coming. Now, to get the shift cables, I have to pull the exhaust off anyway, so I might as well do both at the same time. The exhaust, there's an outline of a plan. First is just pull it all off. It's one big piece, so I have to get it off. Figure out whether that's the JCW exhaust or not, like the muffler or not. If it isn't, well, I'm not sure I'll keep it, depending on what they cost on eBay or something. If it is, then fix the piping. Delete the resonator most likely no matter what. I've heard some clips online that it's usually just lower and poppier, not necessarily louder. I don't necessarily want it louder, but I'll take the extra pops and a lower rumble. The cat I have to keep in, either this one, reused, or an aftermarket high flow one. Where I live, the fines for not having a cat are worth more than this car. And then get that all to made up to the header I got. Yeah, that's the plan. Right, that seems normal. So I think these are the hangers that I need to remove to get this thing out of here. Obviously, like everything, there's a stripped bolt, so Alright, it's the same on both sides, but this one doesn't have stripped bolts, so that's nice at least. So I think if I undo those, I should be able to get this out. Okay. So the ones holding the brackets on are 13 mil. I don't think this is going to crush me, so that's good. At least that's the plan. You should subscribe. Okay, I'm hoping you can see this. I pulled off the exhaust hanger from what I thought was the only connector, but it looks like it's welded to the piece that connects to the body. I don't think it's supposed to be like that. What? Like, somebody welded the muffler in place? So I guess I have to try and get these out. But why? Why, like... Okay, here's the situation. I've got the muffler off completely now, and I can just drag it out. I ran into a little bit of difficulty, obviously, there, because when I took the rubber hanger off, the muffler just stayed attached, which you wouldn't expect. So it turns out the same, which I'm guessing the same maniac that welded the front strut into place also decided to weld the muffler into place. So I'll give you a close-up view here. Okay, so here's the hangers, right? So this is the one that's attached to the car, right here. And here's the one that's attached to the muffler. And you can see the hanger, I took it off and it just stayed. And that's because, I don't know if I can get a good shot of this, that is welded together. And it is on both sides, that's welded. So the question now is, where do I cut it? What stays and what goes? I'm not sure I'm going to solve this problem today, so I'm just going to go back to the shift cables. Okay, first we're going to take off, sorry it's really cramped under here. First we're going to take off the front heat shield. That's the front heat shield here. So in my case there's even some corrosion here. I thought this was aluminum, so I'm not sure how that corrodes so badly, but there it is. And there's all a bunch, so there's this heat shield, and then there's this one, and I'm pretty sure they're 8 mil everywhere, 8mm bolts all the way around, so I'll just take all those out. Okay, it's so cramped in here, I apologize I can't get any good shots, but look how rotted this is. I just touched it, and the big washer bolt thing didn't even come out, the whole thing just came out. On the other side, these things here, they're all rounded off. Like completely rounded off before I even got down here. I can't get a 10 on them, so I've had to use bolt extractors on them, and that seems to be working, but it's just a pain. Everything is rounded off or broken or rotten. Okay, I'm not sure if this will capture the full crampness, uncomfortableness of this area, but that's fun, right? So these things are useless. But that should be this whole piece removed. And I'm gonna go take another look at the exhaust pipe, because I think I saw some bad welds there, but this looks like an exhaust leak to me. Yeah, so sometimes you just wish you had a lift for a little extra room down here. Okay, so this is what we're after. You can unhook them from the top so that the whole box comes out, but we actually don't want to remove the whole shifter box. All we're after is these shifter cables. I hope you can see my hand here, but the shifter cables are over here. to make sure. So this is what we're after. We're after these shifter cables. And it looks like there's just some clips up here that we can pull off, because I just want this bottom panel off so I can get at the cables. Yeah, looks like I'm gonna have to do that whole box. Which I think means I'm doing stuff from the top, but these look like they're coming from the bottom, so let's try that. Okay, look like T40s. And well rusted like everything else. Okay, here's the shifter from the top. And then just down, geez, how do I like this? There. There's that little piece of plastic holding it in. So I'm just gonna hit it with a little pick and hopefully it releases. Okay, after removing that, the only thing holding it is like this, not even the zip tie and a couple of clips here. So we'll just unclip those. Okay, this is the bottom of the shifter box. Obviously the bottom is off already. It's way easier to do outside. And I just need to pull these out. These two clips, I think, and then just pull these off, and I've got new cables here. So let's do these clips first. Okay, they're not that tight. Just be careful not to damage the plastic at all. One. Okay. So those are loose now. And these are 11s. I don't know how to really just pop them off. Yeah, that's easy. The other end of them, that doesn't look so healthy. Right. Okay, I've got the new ones here. They're pretty obvious. One of them has a big weight on it down at the end, so they're pretty. You can't really mix them up. The interesting thing is that I got one real. The one with the weight on is the OEM one from BMW. The other one is just like a OEM replacement from Dorman. And the biggest difference that I see here is that the Dorman one is plastic around here. All right, so that doesn't give me a lot of confidence. The official BMW one is metal. All right, so, I mean, they're gonna be brand new, so it's no big deal, but still, I would have preferred if they were both metal. I guess they're cheap if I have to replace them. And who knows, I can always replace them when I'm doing, you know, a sharp shifter or a racing shifter or something in the future. Okay, so this is through here. And then I just put it over that and then I guess just push down. There we go. Okay. So there's an O-ring kind of floating around here. It's just floating around, but there is up here, there's a little lip that looks like where an O-ring would go, so I'm just gonna slide it up back over that. I don't know what that would block, but we'll leave it there for now. There we go. Just put it against the back of the table there and just gave it a whack. And that seems good. Let me shift it up a storm. Everything else looks like it's in good shape. I know these bushings can kind of fail sometimes. They're a little loose, but for now they're good. Let's pop this guy back on. Okay, back in the car. I apologize, this is like 20 centimeters in front of my face, so just trying to get a good shot of it. Okay, so now instead of two rotting shift cables hanging there, I have two nice looking shift cables sitting there. Here's the heat shield. I mean, just to throw it back on, right? But you'll see where it rotted out. Like it rotted out a perfect circle around the thing that holds it in. And there's just a lot of rot on it. I mean, this is just a piece of aluminum, so I'll figure out a way to put it back in. You can just put yours back in if it's not rotted out. Maybe I can get a used one. I mean, this is nothing. I'm hoping if I can get it for like 20 or 30 bucks, I'll just get a new one. Okay, that is the shift cables done. You know, nice little quick job, and it just looked bad when I kept working on there, hanging there, and they looked rusty, and I knew I was going to be, you know, shifting hard when I get this thing back on the track. So I just wanted to get that done. Problem solved. The exhaust issue I'm not going to solve today, so I'm just going to leave that to another video. I have to figure out where to cut it. Do I just bring it somewhere and have them do it? I don't really know what I'm going to do there. Maybe I just buy something new. I'd rather spend money on suspension parts than on exhaust parts, but you know, you got to do what you got to do. It is the JCW exhaust, so I'm hoping I can save it and just get somebody who knows what they're doing. I'm not going to attempt it. I'm just going to get somebody that knows what they're doing to chop it up and try and get it to the right size. In the meantime, I think we have to start thinking about that engine. I want this car back on the road in May. You know, it's the beginning of April now, and I do want it back on the road in May. So I have all the pieces I need, I believe. So I think I can just start getting at least prepared to put the engine together. So the next video will be me preparing to assemble the engine, and then maybe 2 or 3 videos from now, you'll see me putting it together. And until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.